Well, I went down here, or I went up on the hill, hit possum up. We dragged that old log in on the side by side. He's able to get me about 4 pieces of wood here. Thick, thin, you know, it almost rotted. It laid there so long. But our porch is in desperate need of some love here. Too many wobble pops. Good Friday, Saturday night. You've got war damage. A lot of this is, you know, it's from walking on it too. It got real soft. But anywho, I've even got some more boards over here. Now, I was planning on maybe trying to dig a hole and stand some of these boards up. Like some of them 4x4s are 3/4 round. You know, so he wasn't going to use them. He's working on his sawmill. And I was thinking maybe putting it in the corner and maybe getting this baby leveled back up. You know, you can see it's starting to have problems. Even some of the boards that I had looking good. I mean, I needed to trim that off anyhow to keep the crown out of it with a grinder. But I don't know how far we're going to make it. I'm cooking right now. You know, on the menu on Friday, Saturday night, we do pizza. So I'm going to do some pizza. He's watching WrestleMania or something like that. He wanted me to come up, but pretty busy. I went down there. I got a big pile of flat boards or whatever. I'm going to try to get up here and make a flower bed to this side, and then all around the greenhouse use flat boards, just, you know, waist high, almost, yeah, about waist high, baby above my belly button here, and put boards around the front of it, make me a small gate, just something to keep the dogs out. And then I've got some other pallets to I might take from the back side in here and just kind of make another shelf. You know, if I can keep the dogs out, we'll be good. Make another shelf out of those pallets. And then I got a bunch of flat wood I got off of him. I hung up our containers, the homemade containers. And then I went up there and got some sawdust, and I've watered our plants. Everything's looking pretty good. The peppers are holding strong. Still got some tomatoes dying. I don't know, they're just not pulling through. And I got another water jug. And then he's got this little air blower here that he got off of somebody, and he wants me to see if I can get it going. I fixed up 2 of his air hammers and a couple of his staplers. Simple stuff. Some of it was wrong nails, some of it had the puncher. The puncher had stuff stuck up in it. You know, you can take it apart and fix it. A lot of people just throw it away. They're so cheap sometimes. And some of his air hammers, his air nailers, the big rough nail, they shoot like a 5-inch rough nail for roofing. Ring shank. But I got a little pack of ring shank nails. You can see our steps are down. You know, this board here on the bottom starting to come out this way. I don't know. I might throw a level on it and try to move some boards around and hopefully take some of this right here. Like I said, it might be a little cobbled looking, but it's probably going to be the last patch job I do on this porch. We're talking about maybe cutting up a new porch. We can get the logs or whatever. He's got to have blades too, man. Them blades are $25, $30 a pop. And I think he buys like a 10 pack. And I got us another piece to walk on. I'm going to put some boards on it so I can get over to the air compressor easier. I like to have a crate, and I like to be out of the ditch. And I might actually wire that to that with a piece of tie wire just to keep it up out of the ditch. You can see it's catching leaves out of this ditch. And then we've got our piece to let us know that we don't want to walk on an extension cord and our air hose. Wish me luck. I wish I had a way to record these videos like with a time lapse and put it like through a video editor. I'm trying to figure out a way to do that with my laptop. but I gotta have a video editor on the laptop. I made some videos. It's been a while back, but you can see it's cobbled up. It's getting cobbled up, and we just need to maybe shift some boards around and hopefully be able to get something we can live with through this summer, and then maybe this winter or something it cools off. It's already got too hot. We get some blades and stuff like that. I'll cut up a whole new porch banister. Wanted to do some flower pots. I wanted to do like a little step tower of some determinate tomatoes, some of the tiny Tims, or the tiny something, you know, they get like a couple feet tall. You don't have to really do nothing. You don't have to stake them. Do like a tier system. Just a few. I ain't gonna go have thousands of tomato plants. I did have 250, but I was thinking maybe right here too, like bury a couple of them poles and do the Florida weave system, just on a, you know, from about there to maybe out here. If I keep the dogs out of it, that's what I'm worried about. And then I'm gonna try to do the greenhouse up. It's gonna be cobbled, you know, that's not perfect. And then with the porch, it's probably not gonna be perfect either, but it's getting to where it needs something, especially where you're walking at, you know. So maybe take some of those boards that are out here, shift everything out, and then we start putting our patch panels in. You know, it might be thick and thin, I don't know. I wish I had a belt sander. If I had a belt sander, you know, it's easier to cut a 2-inch wide, a 2-inch thick board with the bandsaw. You get 1.5 inches, it's still gonna shrink. So it makes it to where it's just hard to get it to cut that. And you can see some of that wood ain't the greatest. We dragged that log up, it'd been on the ground. That's why it was on the ground. It had bugs in it, and then like the ends of it's gone. So I gotta set up, I gotta get the grill off of here. I might just get it level, put that 4x4 in the corner, or might actually even come here in the center and do it, you know, so where we can get it square. And then that outside board where it overlapped a little bit, and that crown, I'm gonna trim that off, and we'll see what it's looking like when I get done.